KHTS. Make sure to get great information or ask your important question at donandgino.com. Now, back to your friends, Don and Gino.
And it's absolutely nationally recognized. As we were talking a little bit earlier, not only are the hosts nationally recognized on Salem Communications, Clear Channel Communications, the largest media outlets in the world, but they also have the absolute best guests. That's absolutely critical to the information we bring to our marketplace.
Absolutely. It's all about the guests. We're just here to facilitate great information. That's our job.
And we do that really well at donandgino.com.
Yeah.
There is so much information at donandgino.com. Please, please, please visit our website. Get involved. Go to our Facebook page. Click on the Facebook link.
Yeah,
at
like us.
donandgino.com.
We want to be liked.
Everybody wants to be liked, Don.
What a disappointing week last week. You get a rerun.
And thank you for noticing. Yeah, we had to do. We were getting trained at Real Estate Radio Network, so we put a rerun in, which we don't do.
What were you guys? You were on the radio in San Diego or something?
Yeah. Actually, we were. We were at Craig Sewing. Craig Sewing started the Real Estate Radio Network. He was the first one to basically say, we have to get our information out there. It wasn't really about marketing because, as you notice, we don't do a lot of marketing. Yes, we work at Cherry Creek Mortgage. We're in the mortgage business, but we realized that not just us, but our expertise, our combined 40 years experience between us and all the incredible guests that are experts in their fields, we need to get the message out to help our community understand their opportunities, what they should and shouldn't be doing, just misnomers.
I was going to say, dispelling the myths about real estate and finance, because we all know the cost of bad advice because of this last economic downturn.
You know what? If I could get every one of my clients to you guys first, I'd sell 10% more homes.
Okay.
All right.
I wrote that down, Tony.
No, that's true, because a lot of lenders, I don't mean insulting, but sure they can say about any field, but a lot of their word is about what it weighs on that scale, So, and people can compare interest rate, but it doesn't tell them what it costs to get that rate.
We've had that so much this week. That's a good. Okay, thanks for teeing that up, because we have to touch on that because it's about educating, and a lot of people are about rate. It'd be like same about your commissions. Right. Oh my God, they find you the wrong home or don't find you the home or can't negotiate on your behalf. What does that commission matter? You just threw away the biggest asset that you're going to own or debt. So you better have the right advice.
Well, it's similar to like you said, their commission, because for example, a for sale by owner seller typically receives 8 to 10% less than a represented seller would. Well, if the commission's 5% or 6%, they're still going to yield a better profit by utilizing an agent.
Right. And how about
they have no representation.
Yeah. How about that buyer that goes in and he's just giving away the that half of the commission to the seller and got no benefit? It doesn't even have the legal protections.
Exactly, and that's huge.
Actually, let's touch on that. I have a buyer right now because we represent buyers that purchasing properties that are for sale by owner all the time, and he's very stressed out, and he's talking to me about this, and he goes, "Gosh, it's so difficult to buy a home." And I said, "You're acting as your own agent, and you've never done this before. Right. Of course it's difficult."
Silly.
So, and a lot of times buyers don't recognize that they can get a help from a professional like Tony for free, because they don't have to pay you, the seller pays.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing. You can go online, get lending. You can get pre-approved, go buy a home. And say if you're not putting 20% down and they don't know how to structure mortgage insurance correctly, and they'll tell you, well, this is just what you have to pay. It could end up cost you 10 times the amount, meaning it could take you 10 years to repay it because it's structured incorrectly versus being structured correctly.
So I know what you're alluding to. I had a conversation.
We just had this.
I had a conversation
today,
less than 48 hours ago, with a client who called me, talking to me about his credit card company is now in the mortgage business.
Oh, yeah. Lo
and behold.
You gotta trust them.
Yeah, and they offered him what's really a great rate. Honestly, they offered him a fantastic rate on the wrong product with the wrong strategy. Okay, for his needs, I saved him $9,000 over the next 10 months. Okay, so I saved him over $1,200 a month. He would have only saved $91 a month with that great rate.
Yeah, and not only
and
that,
this is his particular scenario. Don't start writing checks out.
No. But how about on our last transaction? Try calling the internet and tell them you want them to get in line at the recorder's office and get this thing before they end up losing the sale.
Mr. Gino is able to make that happen. Yeah,
Yes.
those are those little things that, and what we're
Little?
alluding to. Yeah, we lost the house.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. He's like, I mean, because this is every day for us.
Right.
This is what we do, and it seems little to us because this is what we do. But you're like, no, that wasn't little.
That wasn't little.
Well, that was
That's funny,
ultimately
Tony.
what that's about is what you mentioned. It's about our word, right? So when we say we're going to close on time, yeah, sometimes unexpected things happen in an escrow that cause delays, whether it be on the buyer side, on the seller side, whatever it is that happens, we still feel responsible to close on time, and we'll go that extra mile to make up lost time somewhere else, even if it's at the end, even if it's going out of our way or losing other opportunities, to make sure we take care of everybody.
And that's what's nice working with you, Tony. You have the same philosophies. You're passionate. You care about it. And that's what I want to touch on real quick before we go to our next break is it's really easy. Almost anybody knows a real estate person, somebody who's in real estate. But are they dedicated to real estate? Are they full-time real estate professional? Do they have experience? And are they local? Is there some advantages you feel working with a local team, both real estate and lending? I would imagine I see a huge advantage.
Yeah, if there are multiple offers and let's say I have a listing and it comes from an agent locally that I know their reputation, and let's say there's 5 offers. If one of them is local and working with a local lender such as Cherry Creek Mortgage,
Nice.
and they have a good resume, good offer, and it's closed between 2 or 3, it's obvious that I'm going to, of course the seller is going to pick which offer, but obviously I'm going to lead them towards the one I feel has the best chance of success, and working local could, again, win a home.
Okay, let's clarify that because there could be easily confusion because you're saying, well, Tony, are you saying that you might accept an offer that's $2,000 or $3,000 less than the other? Let's clarify for them that the only reason you would do this, one, their object is to sell their home and close their home or buy a home and get into their home. That's their main goal. If you are working with someone that you don't trust and the deal falls out, it will cost you way more than that $2,000 or $3,000 in not just the stress. I mean, what if your moving van was already set up? What if you were planning on moving? And what does it say to other buyers if your house goes back on the market?
It doesn't say much to other buyers. It doesn't say much to the seller. And the fact of the matter is, if I get multiple offers and the negotiations, believe me, there's not much of a chance that it's going to be $3,000 less. I will negotiate the best deal. And again,
negotiations are key.
Yeah, and the seller will choose the offer, but they'll be well informed.
You know what? That's a great
That's
key.
a great key.
Yeah, and the one thing I want to remember, so I'm like having flashbacks of my former life as a real estate agent, and what was sometimes forgotten is that price is not the only thing. Otherwise, we'd write on a piece of paper, write the price, and pass it over. Right? It's a 7 or 10 it's a 7 to 10 page offer for a reason. There's a lot of terms involved there.
Right.
So the best terms for one seller are not always the best terms for every seller. And I recently remembered that somebody wrote a very aggressive offer, close in 15 days. Last year, close in 15 days, no contingencies, all these things that they were trying to get their offer accepted.
No appraisal, but we're going FHA.
Well,
right?
this is this is what was really interesting. So they write this, what they think is this great offer, and unfortunately, their agent didn't do enough homework because they lost the offer. And I said, "Why? You wrote such an aggressive offer." He says, "Oh, the seller took an offer because they wanted a 60-day escrow." I said, so wait a second. So
you give them the option?
Yeah. So it's great that you have to communicate. You have to talk. You have to find out what are the seller's needs.
Yeah. How about you put an offer on a home, very good offer, very good terms. The seller took another offer, virtually the same, comes back to me in 10 days after my client found another home. He said, the house isn't VA approved. We didn't know that. Well, as a listing agent, you should know that.
So again, these are those little things you may not think about when you're choosing a real estate or lending professional. Is that using someone local, especially our community here, makes I can tell you by the way we set up the offers for you, the way Tony sets up the offers for you, it makes a huge difference whether your offer is going to be accepted. And I know the market is mellowed some. We're going to talk about in that next segment where we're at in the market today versus last summer versus where we're heading in spring. You're going to want to know where we're at today so you can properly prepare, because it will make a difference. But I know that back when there was a feast of offers going out. And like you said, Tony, could be 12, 20 offers on a home.
Right.
Without a doubt, there's no way that they're accepting an offer, especially when you have that many. You have a lot to choose from.
Right.
So you're getting top dollar, no doubt,
Right.
if not more. There's no way you're choosing a out-of-area lender or out-of-area real estate professional, am I right?
Well, let's not say there's no way, but
Your
know,
chances are very
yeah,
slim.
not even very slim. What I would just say is that your percentages increase exponentially once you're using a local. But I just want to clarify that we survive in our valley because we grow from outside. So outside agents have a good fair shot at it. But what we will do is have them pre-approved with like Cherry Creek Mortgage to make sure that they at least verify the lender. And of course, that gives you an opportunity to present your programs.
That's a really good point. You basically make sure they're prepared so that your sellers can accept offers from outside the area by just making sure they're aligned with a local lender that makes you feel comfortable for your sellers on your sellers' behalf.
Yeah, exactly.
Very well put, Tony.
You guys are great at working with
That's
us.
very well put, and you're keeping the opportunities open for everyone. I love that. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the real estate community right here in Santa Cruz, because it has changed again, and it will again. We're going to talk about why when we come back to Don Gino Real Estate Finance Show.